Welcome back, and today we are going to cover lesson 1.2, Understanding Price and Quantity with Mr. Sturgeon. So in the last lesson, we went over the very basics of the graphs. So what to understand when you look at the graph: the price, the quantity, the supply, and the demand. Remember that supply is the amount that you will be making or giving out. Demand is the amount that people want to buy. And then you're going to have the price on this y-axis, which is going to depend on how much you want to charge for your product. And then you're going to have on the x-axis your quantity, which is the amount demanded and supplied at a certain price. And so how do we try to figure out how much to charge, how much to demand, how much the quantity is going to be, and supply? Well, here's an example right here. What we're looking at here is the simple rules of price. So again, we're looking at price, and we're looking at how much to give or supply. And there are some simple rules we need to follow. Now, there are exceptions. If you get into more advanced economics, you're going to learn there are absolutely exceptions to this rule. But at the very basic level, let's try to figure out what happens when price goes up and price goes down. Well, the first instance is anytime price goes up for a product. Let's say gasoline. So gas for your car. Anytime price goes up, so we start charging more for a product. Well, anytime the price goes up, demand for that product, so this downward line, the line that's going to the dirt, will go down as well. So anytime demand for a product goes down, one of the factors might be that the price of that product is going up. So let's use this graph for example. At $9 per gallon of gasoline, the demand for that gasoline, if we go from $9 over to the demand line, will only be one person demanding it. So as you see, the price is at $9, which is very expensive. So the demand, which is this line that goes down to the dirt, is at 1. So 1 is being demanded. Now let's say the price goes up for a product. Well, if I am a gas store owner, if I know I can charge a lot of money for my gasoline, well then my supply for the product will go up as well. So if we're looking at this graph again, let's use that $9. If I'm charged, or if I know I can charge $9 for a gallon of gasoline, well, you bet I'm going to supply more gasoline so that I can try to make more money. So at $9, we know even though one person is demanding it, let's look at the supply line. The supply line goes to the sky. And so at $9, if I go to $9, and I go all the way over to the supply line right here. So right here. And I go down to the amount or the quantity that I'm supplying. Boom. I would supply 9 gallons to people. Or I would make 9 gallons of gasoline. So the demand line goes down to the dirt and the supply line goes up to the sky. Now let's look at if price goes down. So again, let's say you own a gas station and you decide, you know what? We're going to have a sale on gasoline. We're only going to charge $2. So we're only going to charge $2 per gallon. Well, that's pretty cheap in most places. So let's try to see what will happen to the demand. Well, if we charge less for our gasoline, more people are going to demand that gasoline. So demand will go up. And we can look at that based on this graph. So if I'm charging $2, so here we have the price, $2. Well, I need to find the demand line, and this is where a lot of students will get it mixed up. They will start at $2, they'll go across, and they'll stop right at the first line. But that's not the demand line. Remember, supply goes to the sky and demand goes to the dirt. So at $2, you got to keep going. You got to keep going to the line that's going to the dirt. And you can see that demand at $2 for this gasoline is 8. So 8 people want it. So there you can see, as price goes down, demand goes up. Even though it kind of looks awkward that even though this line's going down, it looks like it's going down in demand, but no, it's actually going up in demand. So at $2, more people want it. And then boom, you hit the demand line, you go down, there's 8 people demanding it. Now let's say price goes up, or price goes down if I'm the owner. Now I am charging less, so let me think. Do I want to charge less for a product? No. So what I might do is I might supply less of that product because I'm not going to be making much money. And so let's find the price at $2. There we go. Price $2, the y-axis. Then let's go to the supply line. Remember, supply to the sky. So here we go. Supply to the sky. This is the supply line. So at $2, boom, I stop there. I go down and bam, I'm only going to supply 2 gallons of gasoline. Now, if you're an economics major or you know more about this, you will understand that there's something called equilibrium, that there's going to be a shortage, that there's going to be a surplus, and those are things we're going to go much more in depth to in later lessons. But as of right now, here are the basic rules for when price goes up and price goes down. And so you're going to be using all of those numbers, all of these lines, to try to figure out the best price to charge and the best amount to supply, or the best quantity to supply. And if you have more questions about how to find that perfect price or that perfect demand, I will be having practice problems on this channel that I will be posting as well. But these are the simple rules for price. So price goes up, demand will go down. Price goes up, supply for that product, guess what? I can make money. Money will go up as well. But maybe price goes down. Well, if it's cheaper, you can bet that demand will go up as well. Because I want something super cheap, so guess what? Demand's going to go up when that price goes down. And then lastly, if price is going to go down and I am the producer of a product, well, I'm not going to supply as much because it's worth less money. And so those are the simple rules with exceptions that we will follow for when we look at these graphs. Now, the next lesson we're going to go over is more specifically to supply. When we're looking at supply, what will happen to price, what will happen to quantity. Thank you and enjoy.